Hey everyone, welcome back to another Prog vlog. My name's Chris, I'm an illustrator from Melbourne, Australia. I'm doing the whole intro thing because I haven't done it in a while, so if you're new to this vlog, that's who I am, that's where I live, that's what I do. So, I don't know if I actually updated last week, but thinking about it, it's probably for the best that I didn't. For anyone who commented, who watched my last Prog vlog and who did comment, thank you very much all for your kind words. Obviously it was in a tight spot. And look, to be honest, I still am. I still am in a tight spot. Life is still a bit tough. At the moment I don't have any work going, but I have a couple of jobs that I've applied for, and I'm in the process of also doing a few things for myself, and which I'll go through in a second. But I'm in, at least today, I'm in happier spirits. Things just feel a little bit lighter. I'm on my way to work at the comic shop today, which is always good. Always gets me out of the house, gets me out of a funk. In the last couple of days, I've been dealing with a lot of hay fever, and I think that's just due to, I need to do a big clean out in my studio. Being around now, just it gets dusty over time, and that's definitely affecting me. You can probably hear it in my voice at the moment. Definitely got a huge hit of hay fever this morning, and I'm finally feeling a bit better. Hopefully by the time I get to work, a bit of fresh air should be right as rain. But regardless, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling happier about things. I'm feeling a bit more positive about things. At least for now. I did have a really big down moment last Friday, and that was really tough. It took me a bit to get through. Funnily enough, the thing that got me through it was I was doing a brief for a job application. So they sent me a design brief just to show my quality of work, and that was about 8 hours worth of work. Probably I spent a bit more time on it than I probably needed to, but I wanted to do the best possible job that I could to prove to them that I'm, the right person for the job. And by the end of the day, I felt really good. So it was really nice to get into work, graphic design work as well, because usually I'm doing illustration. So doing a bit of graphic design, something out of the norm, was really nice. And I had a project brief, I had a clear direction of where I was going, and that made it, definitely just cleared my mind so quickly. But I got the work done, and it was great. And I think, looking back on the last video as well, talking about, not having a set direction of just constantly wandering and trying to find work and trying to figure out what I'm doing next and all of that, is a big trigger, and puts me into a bad spot because I start freaking out. And it was nice. So I don't know, at the moment I'm just sort of taking things one bit at a time, trying not to overstress. Yesterday I focused on my website. Actually had someone comment and say that my online store on my website wasn't working, and it turns out that I hadn't set it up properly. I thought I had. I'd uploaded all of the inventory and everything. It looked like a running website, but it wasn't ready to take orders. So I had to fix all of that, and then what I ended up doing was actually updating the website, setting up categories to make it easier for navigation, and also just to make it a little bit prettier, and uploading some new stock. So you'll find that there's a ton of prints and stuff on there now, which is really good. Now, adding to this, last weekend was Free Comic Book Day, as most of you would probably know. Now, for Free Comic Book Day, I do free sketching at generally the local comic shop. For me, it's now the shop that I work at. I did some free sketching there. It was a 5-hour day. It was absolutely exhausting. I was just blasted by the end of it. I think we got 16 sketches done, which I'm really proud of. Some of the other guys did a few more, but I made a conscious effort to make sure I spent a little bit more time than I normally do at these things. So rather than trying to rush it and just get the line out, I wanted to just spend a little bit more time. Towards the end, I did start rushing, and the quality of the work definitely showed because of how quickly I was getting them done. And I think that just shows. And I'm going to be posting those intermittently on Instagram, so keep an eye out. But there's a few there that I won't post because I'm not really happy with them at all. But for the majority, I was quite happy with the end results of each sketch. And again, I put that down to just a bit of extra time, a bit of extra patience. And the crowd was really lovely. They were really patient and understanding. Some of them were in line for like over an hour. There was 3 artists there, including myself, obviously. And we were just going hammer and tong, and people were loving it. So it was great. It was a great experience. Got to draw a few characters I haven't drawn before, and a few that I have. Ended up drawing. As always at most conventions, there's usually a couple of duplicates. So I drew 2 Star-Lords and I drew 3 Thanos. So that's just the way it goes. One person sees a sketch and they want the same thing. It's like, okay, cool. Which makes it easy for me because I don't really have to think about it. I can just, I've already done it before, so I've got a bit of a memory of what I've already drawn. So yeah, that was really good. What ended up happening though was I found out that I was going to have a full table. Now I don't need a full table to do sketching. Half a table would suffice. So I figured, well, I've got all this space, I might as well bring some stock with me. So I brought all my comics for sale, on sale for $5 each and $10 for the alternate covers because they're like the limited edition ones. And then I brought a folder of prints and a whole ton of stock. In my prints was pretty much everything from about 2013 and onwards, which is a fair chunk of time. The majority of them were the kiddie prints, which if you go to my Instagram now, you'll see a post about them. And then a whole bunch of other stuff, so Nightmare Before Christmas, Hellboy, Doctor Who, etc., etc. I sold 0 comics, absolutely 0, and I must have sold a dozen prints, maybe. Now at $10 a print, I walked away with over $100 in my pocket for a day that was essentially free. Now, $100 doesn't sound like a lot for an event that I was expecting nothing from, and really I just wanted to get comics out there rather than the prints. But I took them because I've got them, and I actually have a whole heap of overstock that I need to get rid of. All people went for was the fan art. And, well, they got the free sketches, but they were sitting there waiting for the free sketch, so they flicked through the fan art and were just like, oh, can I have that, can I have that? The kiddie prints, obviously, were probably the most popular, which is why I'm pushing them at the moment, because people will love them. They're like, oh, I want to get a set for my kids' room, or this and that. So I was like, oh, well, I might as well put them on an online store, because people still like them. And walking away put me in the mind frame of, maybe I need to be doing fan art, and there's probably going to be a few people like, what the hell, here's this guy who was like, no to fan art, blah, 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 blah. But after recent conventions and after Friday's, surprise earnings, I just feel like I'd be silly. I am silly for not taking advantage of making something that's going to make a profit when I already have a ton of content there that I can use to make profit from. And look, I feel a little bit dirty about the idea of it, but then when I look at the amount of people who are still doing it, and then I look at what I'm doing and my style and sort of the way that it's evolving and the kind of work that I've been doing, a bit more cartoony, kiddish, very stylized in comparison to some people who are just doing here's the character, this is what they look like, bam. I always loved when people did their own take on it. I've seen some people do like samurai versions of like their favorite characters, or just parody stuff, spoofy work. I've always liked that more, and I feel like I could start to fit into that category a bit more with the way that my style's sitting. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing a little bit more fan art. Just when I think of fan art though, it's always, I want to draw things that I'm a fan of. I don't want to draw things for the sake of drawing it. So I'm not going to go ahead and draw a ton of Overwatch and Fortnite stuff because I don't care for that. But I'll happily draw some fan art of Ren and Stimpy. I'll happily draw some Simpsons, some Rugrats, some Angry Beavers, Riverdale, all that sort of things that I'm into. So that's where my head's at, and I'm starting to think I'm going to focus a little bit more on that. And also, having that sort of content is definitely going to help build up my online following, so I can actually start sharing content with people that they're more likely to be searching for, and I can start finding an audience that way, which would be very handy. So if I can build that audience and then go, hey, I'm also doing this thing, check out Monkey Junk, and build, hopefully get people to go, oh, I like his other work, I'll check this out. So yeah, so I suppose I'm back on the fan art wagon then. I'm not sort of hammering into it, I'm just sort of doing it as I go along. just plodding along doing what I want to do. I'm actually working on a Thanos piece. Again, if you check out my Instagram, you can see it. If you're on my Patreon, you can see the full piece. I'm still colouring it, but the full inked piece is already up there. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. I like it'll give me a bit of a purpose to draw as well. When I'm having those sort of struggles, I can just go, oh, I'll draw a bit of fan art, or I'll draw one of these characters, There's reference there. It's a little less stressy for me, and I can just filter that in with all the other things I'm doing, like a Kill the Hero and that. So that's another thing. Last week I had a meeting with Lee, who's the co-creator of Monkey Joke, and also co-creator of my card game Kill the Hero, and we're going to be getting back into Kill the Hero. Just once a week I'm going to be doing work on it. I'm going to be scheduling in a night to do some work, and we're not far. There's mostly just loot which needs to be done, and once I can get a foothold onto that, we just need to finalise the card designs, make sure all the rules are good, do a bit of a play test, and then the game's ready. So really it was mostly reliant on me, but it's been good because we had a few epiphanies about a few things that we're going to make some changes with in the rules, and had we jumped ahead we wouldn't have thought of it. Now we're like, okay, we're almost glad that hiatus happened. So yeah, otherwise at the moment I'm just looking for work. I will put that shout out if you're looking for work, if you're looking for someone to ink your comics or draw your comics, or you just want some character commissions or whatnot, do feel free to hit me up, because I'm currently open, and I'm constantly open. Generally sometimes it's just more of a time frame thing. I'll just slot you in a bit later down the track. Otherwise I can't really think of too much. I got a haircut finally. I cut all my hair off. That was a nice change. It feels much lighter. It was nice to not feel like a scumbag this morning when I woke up. That was good. I was definitely feeling that homeless scumbag look as my hair was just getting a bit longer and a bit more unmanageable. But yeah, happy with it. Sort of back to what it was. The hairdresser didn't do the most amazing job, but I can work with it, let it grow out a bit. Usually one of my close friends cuts my hair, but she's currently on leave, so I think she comes back at the end of this month. So unfortunately I just couldn't wait it out that long, but it'd be good to go back to her, because she probably the only person who generally does it right, or at least listens to me when I ask. I hate hairdressers, I really do. I just, so picky with my hair. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm near work now anyway, so that's a bit of an update on things. Still got some videos to do. I really need to try. There's a video I want to do this week, which is how to draw using reference images, which ties into another little project I'm doing on Gumroad at the moment. So hopefully I can get that done and you guys can check that out. And I don't know, maybe I can just, now my head seems to be in a better space, maybe this week I might be able to do a few things. I also I'm looking at getting a lapel mic. So if anyone has any suggestions on a good microphone I could use for my phone or my iPad, that'd be awesome. If not, I'm probably just going to go into eBay and see what I can find. Just a cheap one for now, just so I have something a little bit better quality. Alright, I'll catch you guys next week hopefully. And or hopefully I'll catch you sooner this week with a new how-to video. If not, I'll see you for the next Prog vlog. Bye.